Okay.
And when we did mediation for settling the case, all I wanted at that point was release the names of the priests that you have.
And I really want to get to that, because
Okay.
that's a huge, and it's certainly very timely right now, because it suddenly popped all over the news that this is the main crux of the problem. Bad metaphor, but it is,
But it
right?
is.
I mean, it's protecting children by naming these priests, and what we know from Jeffrey Anderson, the attorney, who's helped Jim in so many other cases of priest sex abuse, is that there apparently is a list of known and acknowledged priest pedophiles that the Archdiocese has. And so what Jim was trying to do is, and many others in fact have tried to as well, get the Archdiocese of Minneapolis and St. Paul to release those names so that communities and churches could know if there was a priest pedophile amongst them and could take measures to protect their children or their community. Am I getting that right?
Pretty much. St. Paul, Minneapolis St. Paul Diocese has a list, and Winona has a list.
Right.
And those were the two dioceses involved in my case. And
Winona, because Adamson, this
was
priest, was in Winona.
Yeah, his first victims were through Rochester's and Lourdes High School and whatnot.
So while he was your priest in Minneapolis St. Paul Church, or a suburb of Minneapolis St. Paul, the case had to go through Winona because that's where he was last, right?
And there was documentation of Winona's diocese knowing of his activity and not doing anything.
Got it.
Simply moving him. So during the course of my case, this list became known through disclosure, and then their side had a gag order put on it and sealed it. So Jeff Anderson does have a copy of the list. He's seen it, but he's sealed by the court, and the church certainly does not want it out. And the words that they use are, and this is the church's language, is credibly accused. So these are, and I cannot remember.
So they acknowledge that these are credibly accused priest pedophiles.
Correct. I believe
or potential priest pedophiles, but
Right.
credibly, there's
So
some
there
real
was a victim
reason
somewhere
that
came
they were
forward and
accused.
said this happened.
This isn't just hyperbole, or this isn't a grudge that some former parishioner might have, or somebody piling on to make money on a lawsuit. These are acknowledged priests that had acknowledged issues with pedophilia.
And so for the church, who downplays everything, to acknowledge that,
It's
in my
enormous.
opinion, they've reached the appropriate threshold.